So I've been taking some time to work on myself recently, mainly because life has got a bit overwhelming. Work, running a business, relationships, life, marriage, dogs. And I've had to take a little bit of time for myself to have a little bit of space for me. Over the years, I've done a lot of exercise, not so consistently that I'm a super strong endurance athlete by far, but I have competed in several 100-kilometer ultra races. I'm a former martial artist many years ago, and over the last couple of years I've been trying to get on the path of burpee practitioner, and I've really struggled with it. I've made some good gains, and then I've quit over and over again. I've pushed myself, started again, quit again and again and again. And it's only recently, over the past few weeks of restarting my burpee journey, that I've realised, yeah, I'm not 25 anymore. And there's a difference between pushing myself really hard and trying to make gains and falling off a cliff, and then the opposite, which is making small gains constantly without putting myself in a position where I can't go any further. I end up quitting. And one of the things that is really important for me, and I think for other people my age, is to slowly work your way upwards when it comes to fitness. A lot of people don't seem to get into fitness because of things like having to pack your kit, drive to the gym, pay a subscription, mingle with people, do different exercises every day, or running. Some people don't like running. I happen to love running, but I don't do much of it at the moment. And running, great, fantastic, love it, good for your endurance, does nothing for your upper body and your upper strength. So what I found with the burpees is a complete package of full body strength and endurance. And as a nurse, one of the things that I see on a daily basis with people who are in critical care and their ability to recover from injury and insult and surgery, a lot of it is to do with their overall general state of strength, conditioning, and ability to do such things as get up off the floor and get out of a chair. Now, as we get older and we start moaning and groaning every time we're getting out of the chair or out of bed or out of the car, these are small signs that are telling us things are stiffening up. Parts of your body are weak. Entropy is starting to take hold of a body that can be stronger. So I'm not saying that people should be aiming for supreme fitness, that their goals should be so high and mighty that, doing a triathlon or 100-kilometer races or anything like that. I mean, go for it if that's what you want to do. I mean, that's the sort of things that I'm interested in. But, we need to have a base level of fitness, and it needs to be done in a way that is sustainable. It's not expensive. You can do it in your own home. It encompasses all of your muscle groups. It's challenging, and it doesn't take up much time. And burpees really is the answer for that. Recently, I've completed what's called the level 1C in the Busy Dad training program. I'll put some links below. This guy, Max, I've never met him. He's a British guy living in America, and he's doing a phenomenal job basically putting out content, and he's created a fantastic app to support people to train in their own homes doing the burpee practice. And it doesn't take a lot of effort, and you don't need to aim for the graduate program, which is something crazy like 325 6 counts in 20 minutes, and I think it's 150 Navy SEALs. But what I've realized recently is that for all of us, what we really need is just a good, strong base fitness, a cornerstone fitness that we maintain in order to not have to suffer the slow, degrading entropy that is pushing against all of us. So something like being able to perform 100 6-count burpees in 20 minutes, or around 40 Navy SEALs in 20 minutes, it's not a massive, huge Olympic standard, but most people around you, and probably including yourself, haven't got the ability to sustain 20 minutes of full body exercise, which incorporates all of the muscle groups, improves your cardiovascular and endurance levels, and maintains strength throughout your body, improves your immune system, and burns fat, builds muscle. And just to be able to do that base level of 100 6-count or 40 Navy SEAL burpees is enough for most people to be able to be well above the average fitness, stamina and strength levels of people around them. And if people, what I've noticed in my nursing career, those people that have some baseline fitness of some sort, they always recover better and faster and with more positivity. And those that don't, those that really struggle to get out of a chair, and I'm not talking about 90-year-old people, I'm talking about people in their 50s and 60s, and young people actually. There's a lot of young people that are not doing any exercise whatsoever. They're just, their thumbs are huge because they're just doing marathon scrolling basically. And even the young people that come in for, major surgeries or, through the A&E, having some injury of some kind, their ability to recover and get over trauma and insult is so low. It's quite surprising sometimes how long it takes people to recover if they do. So what I'm suggesting is, if you're in your 40s and 50s, definitely if you're in your 40s and 50s, take up some sort of high intensity, timed, full body exercise on a regular basis, without feeling that you need to be contrasting yourself with other people on the internet or in the gyms. It's all about self-care, and it's all about just maintaining a certain level of strength and cardiovascular fitness and mobility to remain useful as you get older. The usefulness is a really key part in maintaining a cornerstone of fitness and a base level of ability. As you get older, everything gets harder, not just physically, but also mentally. And if you've got a strong physique and you're able to maintain energy throughout the day, it'll also help you with your mental strength and emotional tenacity. Because if you put yourself through just 20 minutes a day, 4 times a week of intense exercise with a goal in mind in each session, you incorporate your mind, your emotions, your body, and you'll find that you'll have more resilience when it comes to your work, to life, to challenges. And in fact, it really should be something that you've got in your life. And despite whatever goes on, despite what happens with your family, your friends, your work, with the world, that should be the thing that you maintain. It's that corner of your life that Without it, you've got no anchor. You've got nothing to fall back on. You know, it's not just sort of an exercise for physical strength. It's also time to yourself. 20 minutes for you, and it's like on an aeroplane. You know, all the oxygen masks come down, and you should put the oxygen mask on yourself so that you can help the people next to you. If you're not looking after yourself, and you know you want to help people and look after your family and your friends and maintain good work relationships, you've got to look after yourself. And self-care is really important, and I'm as guilty as everybody else of neglecting myself, having poor routines, living day to day on an emotional roller coaster. And I'm finding that at the moment, my burpee practice that's just started to take off again is really helping with the day-to-day BS that comes up in life. Everything's starting to center around it rather than getting to the end of the day and being upset and slightly depressed because once again I've not managed to do any exercise. I wanted to do this, but I'm finding that it's really helping with my mental state and definitely with my physical being. So if you've looked at my channel at all, you'll see there's a load of videos of me doing burpees, and they're not nothing special. In fact, it's just a video journal that I put up there for myself, just to observe my posture, count my reps, because often I forget where I got to in the reps because I get too tired, and just as a reference point for me to go back to in the future, to see how I progressed and what my body looked like, and so I've got some sort of snapshot of the beginnings of where I was. So there's a lot of people out there doing fitness, and fantastic, and the guy Max at Busy Dad Training, absolute brilliant guy. I consider him a mentor. I've never actually met him, and I'm feeling there's sort of a gap between like all of these influencers and experts in the sports and exercise world, and they seem to miss the fact that there's people like me and probably you who are later on in life who see the contrast between how they are now and all these people who can do all these exercises and all this endurance training, and they wonder how do they get from where they are now to probably halfway to where they are, or all the way to where they are. And that first step, I find, is what I've had a challenge with over the past couple of years. Now, over the past few months, I've created something called the titration burpee protocol, and I wrote it for myself because I'm a bit of an idiot at times, and I let my adrenaline get away with me, and I started realizing that when I was working out, I was going too far, too hard, too fast, and I needed to rein myself in. So I set a plan, and I would only do so many reps of either the 6 count or the Navy SEAL on each session, and no more. And then I started saying, well, I kept finding that partway through the 20 minutes, I was falling into a heap. And I also like a challenge, so I wanted to make sure that it was challenging enough that somehow I could maintain my my workout throughout the whole 20 minutes and not go overboard. I used to wake up in the morning and not be able to touch my nose because the muscle soreness was so intense, and that was just a scientist saying to me, you're going too hard, too fast, like slow down, take a step back. But often what I would do is just quit. So this protocol I've designed for myself, it's a 8-week protocol, and it starts from the very beginning, doing 10 Navy SEALs in 20 minutes or 40 6 count in 20 minutes. And there's a small gradual process each session, each week, which I took myself through and I stuck to it. And this allowed me to focus on the form of each burpee, but it also stopped me from overdoing it, overcooking myself. It was a little bit boring at the start because you find that there's quite a lot of time in between each rep. And if anybody follows this protocol, which I'm going to upload soon and probably add to it a following video, in between those rest periods, in between each rep, you start to just become aware of yourself and your posture and your thoughts. And it's only 20 minutes, but it does seem like a long time at the beginning. But each session, 4 sessions a week, you slowly titrate the reps up. At the beginning of a session, you'll do more reps in the first few sets, and then slowly start to titrate those reps down in each set until it goes lower and lower to the 20 minutes. But the last minute is always a full-on sprint. You do as many reps as possible of either the 6 count or the Navy SEAL, depending on which one you're doing. And what I found doing this is that I had a challenge at the start. By titrating the reps down 1 or 2 a time each minute, I would be able to maintain the whole 20 minutes. And at the end, those first 19 minutes, I would find that I've got some residual energy in me and some confidence and some strength to go all out for the last minute, which starts to prepare me for the later stages of training where you really are putting out the reps. So if it's something you're interested in, you can have a look at my videos below. You can just see I'm a normal guy who's struggling with building strength and conditioning, but I am making slow, steady progress. And in the next video, I'm going to put a link to the PDF, which will be free. And it's something that you can follow and use, and you can learn the 6 count burpee. There's plenty of information out there. You learn the Navy SEAL burpee. Again, there's plenty of information out there. And I'll put some links below in this video of the people that I'm following, and a couple of links to the techniques. And you'll be able to see how you get on. So if you're looking for some sort of exercise to beat off entropy and to start to get some whole body strength and endurance, and just be slightly above the average person, above the people that are around you, not to be some super athlete, but to stay healthy, to make it so that you continue to be useful throughout your later years. And it'll be a cornerstone. Once you get to 106 count or 40 Navy SEALs, that's a cornerstone workout for you. Okay, and you can stick at that workout for as long as you like, and just maintain it. And you can use this as a platform for other things. If you want to run, if you want to go climbing, if you want to do triathlons or whatever. But the base of it is that you'll remain physically strong and useful, and getting up and down off the floor, out of bed, off the chair, up and down stairs. You'll realize that it doesn't take much effort or much practice to actually, maintain your health and avoid falling into the trap of entropy. So I'll put that in the next video. You can have a look at my other videos, just to see my work in progress on my personal sort of journey. And I'll link Max's website and everything below, because I'm no super practitioner. I'm at the beginning stages, just like you are, or hopefully will be. So have a look. On the next video, I will talk a little bit more about this, and I will complete the PDF, and I'll upload the titration burpee protocol for you, and we'll go from there. So please subscribe if you're new here. It's a new channel, and hopefully you'll see me again. Take it easy.